Russian warships, they're arriving in waters that are surrounding Cuba. This is ahead of a planned military exercise in the Caribbean. The Russian Navy fleet, including a nuclear-powered submarine and a warship. This comes as tensions are soaring between the United States and Russia over the war in Ukraine. But the Pentagon, so far, downplaying the ship's arrival, saying the U.S. has been monitoring this all along. ABC News senior Pentagon reporter Louis Martinez is live for us from the Pentagon with more. So, Louis, thank you for being here. And what more do we know right now about these Russian military exercises? And how closely is the U.S. monitoring this?
Kena, the U.S. was closely monitoring it because they sent 3 destroyers, a Coast Guard cutter, and we also had French and Canadian warships that joined along to track these vessels as they made their way towards Cuba. Now, a U.S. official tells me that these ships never came close to the U.S. territorial waters, which stretch out 12 nautical miles from the coastline. But whenever something like this happens, whenever we see foreign navies, especially particularly ones with whom we have tensions right now, including Russia, the United States is going to keep a close eye on them. This is something that they do when we get close to them, so it's pretty much standard par for the course. Now, one of the things that's going on here is that the Russians are trying to just demonstrate their capability, their global reach. Back in the 1990s, this is something that they really didn't have, as well as in the early 2000s. But since 2008, we've seen almost on a regular basis these kind of arrivals and these port visits into Havana, and that's one of the reasons why the Pentagon was downplaying this scenario. They're saying this happens regularly, and when it does, when the Russians do come, we're going to keep a close tab on them. And so for now, that's why they're downplaying all this, even though, as you said, there are heightened tensions because of what's going on with Ukraine.
All right, Louis Martinez, thank you so much for joining us from the Pentagon there.